1565. Where Mediterranean tides carry empire's fate toward tiny Malta. The Ottoman Empire commands 3 continents. Its fleets blacken every sea. Suleiman the Magnificent, 70 years old, still hungry for Christian blood. Belgrade fell to his armies. Rhodes surrendered. Hungary collapsed. Even Vienna barely survived. One obstacle remains between Ottoman glory and European conquest: Malta, a tiny island defined by rocky coast, where 3 fortresses guard Grand Harbor's throat. The Knights of St. John, warrior monks, sworn enemies of Islam. Rhodes expelled them 43 years ago. Malta became their last refuge. Grand Master Jean de Valette, 71 years old, hard as fortress stone. Ottoman slave once, survived galley chains, now commands Christendom's final shield. 500 knights, 6,000 Maltese militia, against what hell brings. March arrives with intelligence. Constantinople musters the greatest armada ever assembled. 200 ships carry 40,000 soldiers, elite janissaries, Sipahi cavalry, and ruthless Barbary corsairs. De Valette reads the impossible numbers, then issues one simple order: strengthen every wall. Fort St. Elmo, Fort St. Angelo, Sanglea, Birgu. In the coming storm, every single stone will matter. Grain stored underground, gunpowder counted barrel by barrel, water cisterns filled. Every Maltese soul labors together, women, children, old men. The threat of death unites all. Fort St. Elmo guards the harbor entrance, small, exposed, vulnerable. De Valette knows it will bleed first. 120 knights volunteer for St. Elmo. Each writes final letters home. Prayers echo through stone chapels. Holy water blesses swords awaiting Ottoman blood. Cannons mounted on every bastion. Gunners calculate angles for killing zones. April nights, sentries watch black water, waiting for inevitable white sails. Sicily promises help. When? No answer. Malta stands alone until Europe wakes. De Valette speaks to every defender. We fight for faith, for Europe, for Malta's children. Knights from 8 nations, speaking different tongues, united by white cross and oath. Dragut race, 80 years old, but still Suleiman's most feared corsair, the architect of countless deaths. Mustafa Pasha commands land forces. 60,000 campaigns teach him siegecraft. Piali Pasha commands the fleet. Young, ambitious, the Sultan's own son-in-law, desperate for glory. Janissaries sharpen yataghans. Sipahi cavalry oil their armor. Bombardiers prepare hell's powder. Late April. Final Mass. Mothers kiss children. Warriors make peace with God. De Valette kneels alone. His prayer simple: let me die defending your cross. May's dawn rises. Banners fly. 6,000 souls await 40,000 swords. 18th of May. Afternoon watch. Lookout sees horizon darken. Not storm clouds, sails. Hundreds of white sails. The Ottoman tide arrives to drown Malta. Bells thunder warning. Defenders sprint to walls. The siege begins now. The crescent formation cuts blue water. 200 galleys, 40,000 warriors aboard. Janissaries from Anatolia. Corsairs from Barbary. Warriors from 3 continents unified. Malta's people watch their doom approach. Terror wrestles courage. Courage prevails. They land at Marsac's Lock. 40,000 boots touch Maltese stone. Earth trembles. The landing takes 3 days. Tents spread like plague. Artillery trains crawl ashore. Mustafa Pasha plants his standard. The War Council debates. Which fortress dies first? Piali demands St. Elmo falls first. 3 days, he promises. Maybe 4. June's first dawn brings Dragut from Tripoli. 1,300 corsairs, hell's veterans. Dragut studies Malta's defenses. His experience corrects younger commanders' arrogance immediately. Mount Siberias commands perfect view. Ottoman cannons roll into position. Death's orchestra. Inside St. Elmo, 120 knights, 600 soldiers, all volunteers. Commander Broglia speaks truth. We buy time with blood. Birgu needs days. On May 24th, Ottoman cannons finally speak. 60 guns vomit iron death simultaneously. Ancient limestone explodes into dust, choking every breath. The bombardment never stops, day bleeding into night. Under brief darkness, defenders rebuild shattered walls, sometimes using fallen comrades as mortar. Dawn brings thunder. Janissaries attack through dust. White plumes meet red crosses. Steel screams. Knights fight blade to blade. Every step costs Ottoman blood. They retreat. First assault fails. 200 Janissaries dead. Piali's promise already broken. Mustafa rages at casualties. His order, double the bombardment, break them faster. Dragut positions guns with master's precision. Enfilading fire rakes walls at angles. 7 days pass. St. Elmo stands. Wounded fight beside dying. No surrender. Volunteers swim harbor darkness, reaching St. Elmo, replacing dead with fresh courage. De Valette watches St. Elmo bleed. Every day bought saves Birgu's preparation. Ottoman engineers dig approach trenches, inching closer through musket storms. Patient death. 16th of June. Mine detonates. Wall section disappears. Breach opens wide. Ottomans pour through breach. Defenders hurl flaming hoops, turning flowing Janissary robes into funeral pyres. Dragut commands from forward battery. 80 years old, still directing fire personally. A cannon roars. Perhaps from St. Elmo. Perhaps misfired from his own lines. Stone shard pierces Dragut's skull. Legend falls. Mediterranean's terror lies dying, wound mortal. Ottoman command loses its mastermind. Dragut's blood demands vengeance. Ottoman fury doubles. St. Elmo burns alive. 22nd of June. 50 knights remain. 300 soldiers. St. Elmo dies. Dawn brings final assault. 10,000 Ottomans swarm dying fort. No mercy given. Knights fight till last breath. Wounded drag themselves to kill one more. Ottoman crescent rises over St. Elmo's corpse. Victory. But what price paid? 8,000 Ottomans dead, including Dragut, for one small fort, 31 days. Mustafa stares across Grand Harbor. If St. Elmo cost this, what price Birgu? Ottoman rage knows no limit. They nail Christian corpses to wooden crosses, sending them floating toward Birgu. De Valette watches bodies drift ashore. His response? Execute every Ottoman prisoner. Ottoman heads loaded into cannons. De Valette's message: we match your cruelty. Cannons fire heads toward Ottoman lines. Mercy died with St. Elmo's fall. July begins. Ottoman gaze shifts. Birgu, Sanglea, where real Malta hides strength. Cannons roll into new positions. Birgu faces fire from 3 sides. No escape. St. Elmo's death taught lessons. Every wall reinforced. Every angle covered. De Valette works beside common men. 71 years. Carrying stones. Leading by example. 15th of July. Ottoman cannons open hell's mouth. Birgu shudders under iron rain. Stone cracks. Dust never settles. Repair crews work while cannonballs scream overhead. Mustafa plans synchronized attack. Land. Sea. Crushing defenders between hammer and anvil. Dawn of July 15th. 40,000 warriors mass for the final assault meant to end Malta forever. Drums beat attack rhythm. Janissaries surge forward. The killing wave crashes against stone. Simultaneously, boats attack Sanglea from water. 80 vessels, 5,000 corsairs aboard. Ottomans reach Birgu's walls. Scaling ladders rise like skeletal fingers. Steel screams. Crimson stains the limestone. Sanglea's defenders watch boats approach. Wait. Cannons loaded. Patience holds fire. Hidden chain rises beneath water surface. Ottoman boats trapped. Immobilized. Perfect targets. Sanglea's cannons fire point blank. Boats shatter. Corsairs drown in armor weight. Naval attack collapses. 800 corsairs sink. Piali's plan drowns in blood. But Birgu bleeds. Ottomans breach outer defenses. Fighting moves to inner streets. Streets become slaughterhouses. Every corner hides death. Every shadow holds blades. De Valette draws his sword. 71 years forgotten. Grand Master fights like lion. His presence electrifies defenders. Old, young, all follow Grand Master into Steel Storm. Counterattack drives Ottomans backward. Step by bloody step. Back toward walls. Sudden chaos behind Ottoman lines. Cavalry from Mdina. Small force. Perfect timing. Ottoman commanders see cavalry. Panic spreads. Are these reinforcements from Sicily? Mustafa orders withdrawal. Regroup. Count losses. The great assault fails. Ottomans withdraw. Defenders cannot pursue. Too exhausted. Too few. Too damaged. July 15th ends. 3,000 Ottoman corpses rot under Mediterranean sun. Malta counts survivors. Every wounded man needed. Every sword matters. Next attack coming. Mustafa's council argues. Some demand retreat. Others demand blood. Mustafa chooses blood. New strategy. Mine warfare. Tunnel beneath walls. Blow them from underneath. Maltese engineers listen to earth. Hear Ottoman picks scratching below. Dig countermines. War moves underground. Tunnel battles. Darkness. Knives. Suffocating terror. Buried alive. Ottoman mine detonates. Wall section vanishes. Another breach opens. Another assault begins. August brings endless assaults. Morning, noon, night. Testing every weakness. No rest. Defenders fight on empty stomachs. Wounds untreated. Sleep stolen. Still they stand. Women carry ammunition to walls. Children reload muskets. Everyone fights. Everyone bleeds. Gunpowder runs low. Every shot rationed. Cannonballs counted like gold pieces. Smiths forge weapons from church bells. Anything metal becomes blade or bullet. Disease spreads through crowded quarters. Dysentery. Fever. Death from within and without. But Ottomans suffer too. Maltese sun burns northern warriors. Disease takes its toll. Ottoman supplies dwindle. Promised reinforcements never arrive. Piali's fleet consumes provisions wastefully. Ottoman commanders fracture. Piali wants withdrawal. Mustafa demands one final push. August whispers of hope. Don Garcia gathers ships in Sicily, but waits, calculating when both sides bleed enough. De Valette counts the days. Europe watches from safety, weighing Malta's blood against political cost. 23rd of August. Mustafa launches everything. Win now or lose forever. 20,000 warriors attack simultaneously. Walls crack. Defenders buckle. Malta's end approaches. Ottomans flood through breaches. Fighting reaches main square. The heart bleeds. De Valette takes sword wound. Refuses retreat. Fights bleeding. His courage becomes legend. Every defender in central square. Final stand. No walls behind. No retreat possible. Defenders fight with death's fury. Ottomans hesitate. These men won't die easy. Trumpet sounds from unexpected direction. Ottoman commanders freeze. Relief force arriving. Confusion breaks Ottoman momentum. Contradictory orders. Hesitation. Victory slips away again. Mustafa orders withdrawal. His rage impotent. Malta survives. Another day bought with blood. Defenders collapse where they stand. Too tired to celebrate. Too damaged to count survivors. Wounded de Valette walks among men. His presence alone worth 1,000 fresh soldiers. Ottoman scouts confirm Sicily's fleet approaching. 8,000 fresh troops. Time runs out. Mustafa faces impossible choice. Attack again. Or withdraw before relief traps him. His commanders vote abandonment. Army's spirit broken. 4 months. 30,000 dead. September 7th. After Europe's long silence, Don Garcia's sails finally appear. 8,000 fresh soldiers. Malta's salvation arrives. Defenders see friendly sails. Men weep, cheer, embrace. Malta survives. God delivered them. Ottoman camp erupts in chaos. Pack everything. Abandon siege works. Retreat. Survive. Relief troops land unopposed. Ottomans withdraw inland. Trap closes, but prey escapes. Cavalry harasses Ottoman retreat. Minor skirmish, more symbol than battle. Victory clear. Ottomans reach beach. Abandon cannons, supplies, equipment, board ships. Escape only matters. Ottoman sails disappear. 4 months of siege. Total failure. 30,000 corpses left behind. Victors walk among ruins. Carnage beyond description. Birgu destroyed, but Malta stands. Malta counts her price. 3,000 defenders dead. Every building damaged. Every family mourns. Ottoman losses stagger imagination. 30,000 dead, including legendary Dragut. Absolute catastrophe. De Valette surveys destroyed homeland. High price paid. But Europe saved. Cross still flies. Te Deum sung in ruined chapel. Voices crack with emotion. Thanksgiving for impossible victory. Europe's kings send letters. Praise. Money. Promises. Malta saved Christian Europe from invasion. Pope declares Malta miracle of God. Knights of St. John become Christendom's heroes. De Valette receives glory. Deflects all praise. My men saved Malta. God saved Malta. Not I. Survivors bear scars forever. Missing limbs, blinded eyes, broken bodies, unbreakable spirits. Mustafa returns to Constantinople. Disgrace. Suleiman's fury awaits. 30,000 deaths demand answer. Suleiman hears failure's news. His last great campaign. Total defeat. Empire's expansion stops. At Malta, Ottoman invincibility dies. The myth shatters. Europe breathes again as Islam's tide finally recedes. De Valette refuses rest. Plans new city. Stronger fortifications. Malta never vulnerable again. Europe's finest engineers arrive. Italian masters. Spanish architects. Malta shall be impregnable. March 1566. Foundation stone laid. New city rises. Named Valletta. De Valette's legacy. Mount Sibera's transforms. Where Ottoman cannons stood, Christian fortress rises from stone. Gold flows from grateful kings. Supplies arrive weekly. Europe invests in Malta's walls. New walls rise thicker, lower profile. Angled bastions. Every lesson from siege incorporated. Knights train fresh recruits, teaching siege's lessons. How desperation breeds miracles. Maltese families rebuild homes, generations scarred but proud. They stood against empire's fury. St. Elmo's heroes receive memorial. 720 defenders. 31 days bought Malta's survival. Each name carved in stone. Each sacrifice remembered. Malta never forgets her defenders. Military minds study Malta's defense. How did 6,000 defeat 40,000? Leadership mattered. De Valette's courage inspired impossible resistance. Example outweighed numbers. Fortification science advances. Angled bastions, lower walls, enfilading fire. Malta teaches Europe. De Valette plans Malta's future. Not just fortress, but Mediterranean's guardian forever. Knights resume hunting Ottoman ships. Prey becomes predator. Mediterranean balance shifts. Constantinople adjusts strategy. No more Western expansion. Focus shifts elsewhere. Malta changed everything. Europe gains confidence. Ottoman invincibility shattered. Christian kingdoms stand taller. Hope returns. Mediterranean trade revives. Merchants sail safer waters. Ottoman naval dominance challenged successfully. Spain watches Malta's lesson. Plans greater confrontation. 6 years hence. Lepanto awaits. Military schools teach Malta's siege. How courage, leadership, determination defeat superior numbers. De Valette ages gracefully. 72 now. Still supervising construction. Building tomorrow's defense. Young knights arrive. Malta's fame draws warriors. They want glory De Valette's men earned. Maltese children play among construction. New generation. Born from siege's ashes. Proud heritage. Maps show Malta's strategic value. Controlling center controls Mediterranean. Geography's gift to defenders. Artillery science advances. Siege-tested weapons. Survivors improve designs. Death teaches innovation. Diplomats debate Malta's place. Some want peace. Knights want eternal vigilance. Compromise impossible. Former Ottomans build Valletta. Converted. Captured. Complex loyalties. Siege changed many fates. Annual ceremony commemorates deliverance. September 8th. Victory of Our Lady. Malta never forgets. From war's ashes, prosperity grows. Ships crowd Malta's harbor, paying in gold for the security that iron and blood purchased. De Valette walks his final years as living legend. Europe's elder warrior, the man who proved that faith and courage could break empires. In 18 months, Valletta rises, Europe's most modern fortress city, paid for by grateful kings and built by the finest engineers of Christendom. Grand Harbor transforms into an impregnable fortress. Every angle calculated, every approach covered. Malta shall never bleed again. Kings recognize Malta's value. Small island, massive strategic weight, Mediterranean's keystone secured. Veterans share siege stories, how desperation forged heroes, how faith sustained impossible resistance. Artists capture de Valette's likeness, 73 now, face carved by leadership's burden, eyes still fierce. Ottomans never return. Lesson learned. Malta cost too much. Some victories break attackers forever. Military doctrine evolves. Defense depth. Leadership example. Morale's power. Malta teaches eternal lessons. 1568. August. De Valette dies peacefully. His Malta stands eternal. Mission accomplished. Malta mourns. Church bells ring. Entire island grieves. Father, commander, savior gone. Buried in Valletta. City bearing his name. Fortress he envisioned. Legacy eternal. New Grand Master swears oath. Continue de Valette's mission. Defend Malta. Defend faith. Forever. Across Europe, courts debate miracle. How Malta survived. Divine providence. Human courage. Both. Poets immortalize the siege in verse. Artists capture the sacrifice in paint. Malta's stand becomes legend before the smoke clears. Military treatises dissect every decision, every tactic, every moment of Malta's defense. The siege becomes Europe's warfare textbook. Released Ottoman prisoners carry tales eastward, of knights who fought like demons, of old men wielding swords, of an island that refused to die. Power balance shifts, Christianity strengthened, Islam's expansion checked. One island changed everything. Stone by stone, Valletta rises, a city born from siege, designed by suffering, built to ensure such suffering never returns. Veterans teach the new generation how desperation breeds miracles, how leadership transforms common men into heroes, how vigilance never sleeps. Fort St. Angelo rises stronger, every weakness corrected by blood-purchased wisdom. The price was terrible, the lessons eternal. Under Malta's guardian shadow, Mediterranean trade flourishes again. The fortress island fulfills its destiny, Europe's shield against the East. Ottoman admirals rethink strategy. Avoid fortified positions, choose softer targets. Malta taught caution. Spain, Venice, Pope discuss alliance. Malta proved Christian unity wins, Lepanto's seeds planted. Engineers across Europe copy Malta's improvements. Angled walls, lower bastions, siege science advances. Knights patrol aggressively. Ottoman merchants fear Malta's galleys. Hunted become hunters permanently. From tavern to cathedral, Malta's songs spread. Ballads of de Valette's courage, hymns of deliverance, tales that grow more epic with each telling. Church murals immortalize the siege as divine miracle, God's hand staying the Ottoman sword, heaven defending the cross of St. John. Scribes race to capture survivors' testimonies before memory fades and warriors die. Each word precious, each account a window into hell survived. Pilgrims journey to Malta's shores, touching walls that held against hell itself, walking ground made holy by sacrifice. Military engineers arrive from every European kingdom, measuring angles, calculating fields of fire, stealing Malta's blood-purchased secrets. Gold follows respect. Banks open. Merchant houses establish. Malta's strategic value transforms into prosperity. Young nobles beg for admission to the order. Malta's fame draws Europe's finest, all seeking glory earned by those who refused to die. In Constantinople, court historians craft careful lies, blaming storms, disease, bad luck. Anything but the truth. Malta's defenders fought better. Suleiman the Magnificent dies 3 years later, his glorious legacy forever shadowed by the tiny island that refused his will. Maps tell truth. Expansion stops after Malta. Tide reversed. Geography marks turning point. September 1566, first anniversary. Malta celebrates survival. Wounds still fresh. Pride eternal. Veterans gather. Share memories. Thank God again. Brotherhood forged in fire unbreakable forever. On Malta's ranges, new weapons roar. Better cannons, improved fortifications. The island that bled will never be caught unprepared again. In Europe's courts, Malta's name now commands instant respect. A small island that proved courage weighs more than numbers. Across Europe, Malta's miracle becomes shorthand for impossible victory, proof that courage can defeat numbers, that faith can break empires. Children born in siege's shadow grow tall in peace their parents purchased with blood. The future lives because the past refused to die. Valletta stands complete, a city of stone raised in defiance, a fortress built from suffering. De Valette's eternal monument to the day Malta saved Europe. Knights stand eternal watch on Valletta's ramparts. The vigilance that saved Malta in 1565 never sleeps, never forgets. Mediterranean sunset paints Malta gold. The scars remain, carved into stone and memory, but peace, hard-won, blood-purchased, prevails at last. The 8-pointed cross flies eternal over Valletta, symbol of faith that wouldn't break, courage that wouldn't yield, sacrifice that saved a continent. Here at Grand Harbor, where 40,000 came to conquer and failed, Malta stands eternal, the shield that held, the fortress that refused to fall, the miracle that saved Europe.